If you're actively flight instructing, being up to date on recent policy and guidance changes matters. Welcome back to the YouTube channel of the National Association of Flight Instructors. I'm Sarah Staudt, the Program Development Manager, and this is your May 2026 Regulatory and Guidance Update. Like this video and subscribe so you don't miss these monthly updates that keep you current and ready to teach. And if you aren't a NAFI member yet, join us at nafimentor.org. Your membership supports this content and connects you with other passionate instructors. Use code REG SAVE5 to save $5 on your first year. Links to all of the documents referenced in the video are shown in the show notes. Let's get started. We have 3 updates this month. First is more MOSAIC-related guidance with the publication of InFO 26006, related to endorsements issued by flight instructors with a sport pilot rating, or flight instructors exercising those privileges. Second is a Piper Aircraft Service Bulletin impacting popular training models. Finally, an update on the Part 141 Modernization Initiative. On April 10th, 2026, the FAA issued Information for Operators InFO 26006, Privileges and Qualifying Endorsements for Title 14 of the Code of Federal Regulations, Part 61 Flight Instructors with a Sport Pilot Rating, Part 61 Subpart K, and Sport Pilot Certificate, Part 61 Subpart J. This MOSAIC-related info is intended to provide clarification for pilots with a higher grade of pilot certificate exercising sport pilot privileges, flight instructors with a sport pilot rating, Subpart K, and flight instructors with a category class ratings issued under Subpart H who provide training and qualifying endorsement privileges. This info frequently references 3 subparts of Part 61. Here's a list for reference during our discussion. In the discussion section of the info, the FAA states that under 14 CFR 61413, flight instructors with a sport pilot rating issued under Subpart K are authorized to conduct ground and flight training, certain checking events, and issue endorsements solely related to sport pilot privileges. With the exception of certain training in powered parachute and weight shift control aircraft, 61413 does not grant Subpart K flight instructors the authority to train pilots pursuing certificates, ratings, or privileges at the recreational pilot level or higher, except when the holders of those certificates are exercising sport pilot privileges. This applies to any endorsement from a Subpart K instructor, including high performance, complex, or tailwheel. These limitations also apply to Subpart H instructors who choose to exercise sport pilot privileges under Subpart K. Additionally, the FAA recommends that instructors include language in the endorsement that the privileges are limited to the sport pilot privileges and provides a sample endorsement. The FAA plans to incorporate this guidance into Advisory Circulars 6165 and 61146 in the future. Piper Aircraft has issued Service Bulletin 1428, calling for the periodic inspection of the diode cooler assembly on several popular models, including some used in training. The Service Bulletin applies to various PA-28, PA-32, and PA-38 models. This Service Bulletin is the result of an aircraft fire that occurred in a 1981 turbo aero in France in 2020. The aircraft experienced an abnormally high alternator output of 70 amps, when 20 to 30 amps is typical for this aircraft. The pilot was able to land before smoke and flames entered the cabin from the luggage compartment. The source of the fire was traced to the diode cooler assembly. Also noted in the investigation was that the pilot did not follow the aircraft flight manual procedures for electrical overloads or suspected in-flight fires. Pilots are reminded to periodically review and remain familiar with the applicable procedures for their aircraft. The FAA is seeking comments on the Part 141 Modernization Industry Recommendations Report developed by the National Flight Training Alliance over the past year in a series of public meetings. NAFI submitted a comment to the public docket supporting 141 modernization. Additionally, NAFI has committed to providing educational outreach and gathering feedback for when an NPRM is eventually issued. The show notes contain links to both the regulations.gov docket and to the comment highlighted here where you can download the report. Comments on the initial recommendations report are due May 11th, 2026. That's what's changed for May 2026. If you found this helpful, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss next month's update. And if you're not a NAFI member, join us at nafimentor.org. Our membership keeps this content going and connects you with instructors committed to staying current and raising the standard. You'll find links to everything we covered in the show notes. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next month.